Good evening, everybody. Puzzle game time. Welcome to the Blueprints. I know very little about it other than that I've heard good things. I think I'm happy where the sound is right now. Now, let us begin. I assume there's an element of randomness to it, seeing as I've just recently seen somebody playing the Blueprints mod for Hollow Knight. But beyond that, I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly Estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner.
A timely
Should
manner.
my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair.
Was he like 160 years old or something? Because he doesn't talk like somebody in 1993. Day one. Three birds. We have two canes. Two chairs. Open only in the event of my death. Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy, and I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as it did in those lost summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume you are fully aware of my last wishes and all the details of the quest. Please do not mistake my intentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you, Nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission covered in the fine print of my will that I feel I should bring to your attention. No tools or items may be brought onto the estate from the outside. Tools and items found on the estate may not be taken off the estate. You may not stay overnight. I don't suspect that any of these stipulations should prove an impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself, but it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the successes of the previous day. One final word of advice. Do not assume the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half-century, and even I am uncertain of which room lies beyond any particular door. Your grandmother used to say, "Don't go where the path leads. Abandon the path and go where you want it to lead." With all my love and wishes, best of luck. Herbert S. Sinclair. Or is that F. Sinclair? This will serve as a useful map and inventory log during your adventure. You may access the blueprint map by pressing Tab. The Antechamber. I've played Antechamber before. And we're in the entrance hall. From its root meaning, the room before, all signs and paths point toward the antechamber. This mysterious sealed room, resting on the 9th rank, may prove, however, quite an initial challenge to even reach, let alone enter. Still, you can't help but draw a connection between this chamber and room 46. Past the steps and beyond the grand doors, admission to Mount Holly is granted by way of a dark and garish lobby, suitably called the Entrance Hall. From here, each guest's adventure begins. However, the 3 doors that proceed outward do not always lead to the same adjoining room. Type permanent. Type blueprint. Blueprint and objective. Okay. These are the grounds. Okay, I have lost a step. I'm guessing that is because I've entered the grounds. I am allowed to go between 50 different rooms. I assume before the day ends. I do not have a jump button. Okay. Why would there be a pipe there? I think my great grand uncle might have been very, very rich. I have this torch. No. And this is the dead end. Okay. We do have a dash. It's not terribly fast, but we do have one. Right, there doesn't appear to be anything to do in the grounds yet. I assume this way is going to end the day. No. We have used a private drive. And we lost another step. So this door is closed. There's a tent. Due to the rules set forth in your great uncle's will, you are not allowed to stay in the estate overnight. Luckily, however, your scouting skills have been put to good use to fabricate a very respectable off-site sleeping quarters. Okay. I don't think I know enough to find a passcode yet. I mean, I could probably brute force it, but no reason to do that yet. Okay, apparently great uncle has NORAD underneath his house. And yes, the countdown counts down every time we traverse a room. Searching the estate can be exhausting. Each time you enter a room, you will lose one step. When you no longer have any steps, you'll be too tired to continue. Searching the manor and must call it a day. Queen of Diamonds. Ace of Spades. This clock is actually ticking. So the current time on the clock is not relevant. At least unless it is different in other rooms, which that might be something we run into. Alright, I'm gonna go right. Ah, we get to pick. Okay, this is the thing I saw in the Hollow Knight thing. Whenever you enter this room, gain 2 steps. Well, that seems really good. So I have 44. I step in. I lost 1 and gained... Okay. So technically, you do not lose a step for entering this room. Like you do, but then you immediately gain 2 steps. But then you will lose another when you leave, so you cannot just keep walking in and out of here. The trunk is locked. Okay. Greetings from Reddington. Okay. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, the storeroom is a dead end. I don't think I want to be taking dead ends. It has what appears to be currency attached to it, which that could be important. Let's take it. We still have 2 doors. We have a key. Maybe the key will open the box. Use key. And we get 2 keys. Okay. Go this way. Hallway. Doors in the west wing are more likely to be locked. Rarity commonplace. Commonplace and a dead end. Okay. Let's get 4 coins. Brigitte, please pick up some more fruit before Friday, as we have just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough. So I think an even spread would be ideal. 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. The enclosed amount should cover expenses, but please bring back any change from the order and leave it in the pantry. Ah. Apple gives us steps. I approve of this. Puzzle piece. Let's take the corridor. It's a gem requirement. Each time you pick a door, you click on a door, you will draw three floor plans, from which you must select one to draft. However, there are some items and rooms that will allow you to redraw if you do not like your initial three options. Aha! Bird and boat. Alright. Wait, no. If I leave the room, it's going to take steps. I don't want to run back to the entrance to check the clock. Alright, what do we got this way? I don't think I want to go to the chapel. Let's go to the den. Okay, the clocks in the house are synchronized. There are a lot of clocks in this den. On the hour, it must be very noisy in here. Keep going this way. I take the observatory just because it looks like something we want to be drafting as often as we see it. Because it gives some kind of currency. The Fixed Stars, the Stargazer's Companion. This book contains a complete star base, a list of constellations, and the observed effects that accompany the appearance of each one. Depending on the number of stars that can be seen in the sky on any given day, different constellations of various sizes may be visible, sometimes more than one on a single day. This book, a solid base for astronomy, will help you easily identify these constellations, impress your friends, and discover the joy of stargazing. North Star, +1 gold. Twins. 2 trunks have been added to the entrance hall. A slice, 3 steps. Diomedes Minor, +1 gem. Southern Cross. Rooms with 4 doors are more common. Apples are extra delicious. +1 key. Diomedes Major. Draxus the Dead. Sale. Aurelius. Bloom in the Sky. Green rooms are more likely. Okay. I need to spin this all the way the other direction. think what I may need to do, actually rotate it to the ground. Try to figure out how to reach the big wheel. Although it might be tied to this one, now that I see that. I may have just completely blocked my path. I did. Okay, so this big wheel on the side is just the linkage to that one. But I do need to point it out the hole. Alright, let's move on. Use a key. Requires gems that I don't have. Spare room it is. Okay, before I deal with locked door, any more locked doors, let's see if we have any doors that aren't locked. This puzzle piece in here. A component of the parlor game. Found a rather curious wind-up key. Dear Herbert, it was a great honor receiving the invitation to dine at your estate with the old hands this past Thursday. If I'm being frank, it had been quite a while since we had been seen in decent society, and we were beginning to worry that my wife's wit lost its charm. I have no delusions that my company is rival to hers. If I can refresh your memory, we both spent much of that evening discussing our mutual love of games and puzzles, and I have mentioned to you that a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back, involving 3 boxes of different colors. You had pressed me to write with the particulars of this game when I found the time, and I have included with this letter all the details you will need to share with guests should you be inclined to play this confounding game. Always your friend, M. Lowry. There will always be at least one box which displays only true statements. There will always be at least one box which displays only false statements. Only one box has a prize within. The other 2 are always empty. Aha! I see. The gems are in this box. The gems are not in this box. The gems are not in the white box. Okay, we have a logic game here. One box tells the truth. Another box lies. The third box could be telling the truth, could be lying, we don't know. So let's look at this. If this one is true, this one is false, which means this one is true. Wait, no. The gems are not in the white box. If this is true, then this is true, which means this is false. If this is false, then this is false. Which would mean that this one would have to be true. So, okay, so if this one's true, then this one is true. Therefore, this one has to be false. And if that's the case, the gems are in the blue box. This one is false. Then this one is false, meaning the gems are in this box. But that would make this one true. So this one's false. If this one is false, and the gems are in this box, which means this box is false. Which means this box is false. So if this one's false, they're all false. And if this one's true, this one's true. Wait, okay, this one's false. This is true. Okay. Sorry. Our first real puzzle, and I'm already scrambling my brain. The gems are not in the white box. I might have to get out some paper and start diagramming things. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. Okay. 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 If one is true, I figure out how I'm going to diagram this thing. Okay. So if one is true, that means the gems are in white. Which, if that is the case, that means that 2 false. Which would also mean that 3 is false. Okay? If 2 is true, the gems are in that box, or not in that box. That means that 1 is false. No. One is the gems are not. So if 1 is true, that means 2 is also true. So I was wrong. Which means 3 is false. So if 2 is true, two is true, that means 1 is true, that means 3 is false. If 3 is true, I see. Okay. I think all my assumptions here on the first one were wrong, or I'm confusing myself. Let's start this over. All right, if 1 is true, and 1 is the gems are not in the white box, means the gems are not in here. That means that this box is also true. And if the gems are not in the white box, one of the boxes has to be false. So that means that box number 3 has to be false, which means there are no gems in black. The gems are in blue. Okay? Now let's work under the assumption that white is true. Okay, if white is true, the gems are not in this box. That logic works out the exact same. That doesn't help me. Okay. Actually, there's our thing right there. Say that box 3 is true. The gems are in this box. If the gems are in this box, both the other boxes are true. And they cannot be otherwise. So, I think that means the gems have to be in the blue box. Because the gems can't be in here. Because if this is true, and this is true. And that is correct. Ooh, plus 10 steps. I have to take this. Oh. Cutscene. Blue memos are true, red memos are lies. Security doors are doors within the estate that can only be opened with electronic keycards. Keycard system reached. Keycard access security doors are more likely to appear in the higher ranks of the estate. Likewise, as a redundant security measure, normal doors in the estate will also be more likely to be locked as you progress north. Until further notice, the antechamber has been unlocked, and access levers are no longer required to gain entry, so we need access. Effective the first week of December, payroll for all live out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically. As your attendance will no longer be registered at morning roll call, it is doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out at one of the electronic computer terminals on the estate. 2 of these terminals can be found as security, where the punch clock used to be, and in the laboratory. Any question or concern regarding this process should be directed, as always, to our house manager, Mrs. Babbage. I don't know about y'all, but I can't make out a password on there. I like how I move around the screen, even if it isn't live. Okay, that is a room we have been in. A commissary. Sure. Dirigiblocks. Annual Maid's Day sale, 2 days only. All items up to 50% off. All staff welcome. Day 20 and 21. Mount Holly Commissary. Okay, so we have Salt Shaker for 5. Double for 6. sleeping mask, metal detector. I don't know what any of these items do. But we're not taking anything yet. Red notes are lies. Commissary will be closed from day 12 to day 16. Sorry for any inconvenience. Okay, password is also scratched out on that one. Guest bedroom. I will take those steps. This room has nice carpet. I can almost feel it. Give me a key. Sinclair, just wanted to write you a quick note thanking you for the weekend. I had a thrilling time on the hunt with Lord Evison, whose peculiar personality somewhat made up for your own absence. I also got to appreciate your new game in the billiard room. It's been ages since I've been seen a billiard room in the house. I was beginning to suspect you retired the floor plan. It was well worth the wait, though, as I always enjoy your mathematical puzzles and appreciate that I didn't need to know the rules of darts to play your variation. Hoping your health improves shortly. KL. Superman's dad was here, okay? Okay. Let us loop around. Red notes are lies. Closet. Shoes. Yep. Pair of running shoes. Occasionally save steps when traveling longer distances across the state and grounds. Okay. This is going to be a dead end. It has to be. That door's boarded up. Okay. Okay. Christmas presents. Got a safe. Box. Alright. We have run out of rooms on this side, so we need to work our way back around. To the door over here that we did not open. I turned too soon. We use a key. All right. Hmm. I'm gonna have to take the secret passage because a right turn would have taken us to the guest bedroom, which would have broken things. Key to the bedroom. Gold sink. Red Rover. The halls of Holly. Green. Special cost bypassed. We've reached the cloister. Security door. Alright. Go through north. Go through south. Oh, we're heading for the antechamber, so we should be going north. Go to the nook. E. A journey noteworthy. As you continue on your adventures, you may want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes and observations. A pad, a scrap of paper, or perhaps most fittingly, a journal will prove to be your invaluable tool. You will not regret having beside you on your journey. The door is locked. We don't have any gems, so East Wing Hall. Okay, now we go north. Use the key. Everything costs gems, and we're not finding any gems. Okay, we have to go into the chapel now. Right, you have gem now. Something at least. A meal. Today's main course, lemon glazed salmon. Charbroiled Cajun spice salmon, lemon butter sauce, served over spinach leaf. Not yet. We don't have an aquarium in the house yet. Never know, this next door might be an aquarium. The door is locked. The door is locked. The door Locked. The door. It's locked. Man, maybe I should have eaten the fish. Courtyard. The trunk is locked. That requires a key card. Laboratory it is. I'm gonna go eat fish. One trunk, but I do not have any keys. As I did not find any security keys. Let's lower security. I assume that's not going to remove security doors we've already found. I don't have any more rooms I can open anyway, so... That's still a security door, that's still a security door. Alright. Sorry about that. My dog was very happy and wanted me to know all about it. Alright, I don't think there's anything else we can do here. So, the inventory says we found everything. I'm actually going to walk to the campsite to end the day. All today. Tomorrow you will awake to find the rooms of the estate as well as your current inventory have been reset. Call it. Save and continue. We're going to go north immediately. Start with the bedroom. Okay, there is no trunk in here this time. Okay, I would like something that would let me go right. But there is no such thing. The hallway it is. Okay, the parlor. Alright, we have new stuff. I assume the rules are the same. Alright, what are our... This box is the white box. This box is the black box. The blue box contains the gem. Okay. So once again, one box tells the truth, one box lies. If this is true, then this is the white box. This, well, okay. This can't be true because this is not the white box. This can't be true because this is not the black box. So this, so the blue box contains the gems. Okay. All right. Northward. I do not want the chapel. Pantry it is. Guest bedroom has no doors. Food for sale. The kitchen should be attached to the pantry, honestly. All right, we're not going to buy anything yet. Okay, security. Nothing. Okay, we want to set this to low. Change offline. Oh, unlock. So that change does not persist from day to day. Let's go this way. The archives. I feel like the archives is a bad room to get. Marigold wins Herald Literary Honor. Popular children's writer Marion Marigold adds yet another feather to her scholastic cap when she discovered on Thursday that her picture book, Swimbird, had been chosen as the Herald Literary Medal in Illustrated Book of the Year. This is Marigold's second time winning this prestigious honor. The previous medal was, of course, for her debut effort. She was no stranger to the public eye even before her literary success, the niece and closest living relation to Baron H.S. Sinclair. Mary began using Marigold as a pen name to free her from the political associations that one might make with the Sinclair family. Swimbird author never considered herself success. She confided, "My son was the one who actually got me to start writing. I had always challenged myself to never tell him the same story twice at bedtime, and so as we ran out of books we owned, my imagination had to take over from there." Marigold has elaborated in previous interviews that her debut book, Red Prince, is based on her son and his inflexible love of the color red, a statement that has been held with much skepticism by many pundits that viewed that book as a rather thinly veiled political critique of the Royalist Party and the unwavering blind loyalty to the throne. Publisher and author detained by Red Guard questioned. Caleb Manning and his publisher, Philip White, were 2 of 3 dozen names that appeared on a leaked dossier naming them as person of interest in the Trinsdale bombing that killed 4 people on Tuesday. Although no group has come come forth to officially take responsibility for the attack. It is widely believed by authorities to be the work of the insurgent group RLCF, who also call themselves the Children of Blackwater. Ruffington Press was quick to dismiss the rumors in a statement released on Friday, maintaining that the popular author and Mr. White were simply victims of an unfortunate happenstance, whatever that means. This would not be the first time that the publishing house has defended a rogue employee. 3 years ago, an associate editor with the company was arrested for criminal conspiracy, though the charges were later dropped. Marigold drops publisher. Local author and popular personality Marion Marigold has announced a split with her longtime publishing partner, Ruffington Press, citing personal reasons. The announcement came after the arrest last week of fellow author and colleague Caleb Manning, whom Marigold has referred to as her mentor, friend, and confidant. Marigold is the third prominent writer to distance themselves from the publisher this week. Was seen at the corner, suspicious bag under the waved down a local. This is the third major last year in. Okay. Was seen at the corner with a suspicious bag under their arm. I'm adding words. Waved down the local man. Or local ba. This is the third major last year. It is anticipated. Charged by the Crown. Manning was the last. The trial begins on. Expected to last up to with grand treason. No trace is discovered of Cinca Eris, but search continues. Mary Matthew Jones, an author and illustrator whose fanciful stories are written under the pen name Marion Marigold, was last seen by a close friend around 3:45 p.m. Friday, getting into a carriage after a late luncheon date at the 100 Bells Tea Room, Turnsdale. Mrs. Jones never arrived home and the carriage driver cannot be located. Family and local authorities are very concerned but have not deemed the case foul play. It's an out-of-character incident at this point, and we are seeking information. Priceless jewels stolen in dramatic Royal Museum heist. Thieves in the royal capital of Fane Ares have broken into one of the Crown's fabled closed exhibits. These lavish rooms have historically been reserved exclusively for the use of the aristocracy and high peerage, and access has never been granted to those outside noble circles, at least not until today, as local police and forensic experts have been spotted in virtually every corner of the museum grounds dredging for clues. The museum authorities said they were alerted in the middle of the night by reports of several masked intruders, seen breaching the south wall and brandishing firearms. The intruders broke into the museum, subdued the royal guard, and disabled the security system. By the time the militia arrived on the scene, the burglars had simply vanished. Although an official registry of the lost jewels has not been publicly announced, among the treasured artifacts rumored to have been stolen is the renowned ruby crown of Oriana Ares, the priceless crown jewel whose material worth pales in comparison to its historical value. If the rumors are true, the evidence may suggest that the theft was politically motivated. Lore. Gotta like lore. Okay. North door, keycard. Archived floor plan. The lavatory. Well, that was not particularly useful. What about this direction? No, we do not want to go in the weight room. Go in the den. Okay, this is going to stay with us, apparently. Storeroom. Respect for the late Lady Clara Epson, the West Wing will be closed until further notice. While the floor plans associated with this wing have not been removed from the pool, we ask that staff members refrain from drafting them during this period of mourning. Likewise, any staff No, we're going to use the archive floor plan and hope it's not a dead end. It's the conservatory. I have 5 monies. Salt shaker. And that's the security door. So, need to go back all the way to the beginning, basically. Utility closet. I don't know what vac indicators mean, but I think that means I've turned off power to the security system. So let's head back this way. I hope I'm right, because it's going to take a lot of steps to get there. To the laboratory. Machine requires additional power piped in from the boiler room. Well, that looks important. I typically work over at Simca Labs, but got sent over here for a month to assist Moore with his new turbine tests. I think I need some help. For the past 3 days, I've been unable to find the laboratory on this state. Today was the first success on that front. Can anyone tell me if this is typical, and if so, how do you get any work done? Before I arrived, I was briefed on the way the doors work, but I must admit I did not expect to be excluded from my new workstation for the first week. Any tips from my fellow technicians would be appreciated. You're free to experiment by testing and combining different mechanics to create an original and unique house feature that will last until the end of the day. Choose a cause from column A and an effect from column B. Next 3 times you open a locked trunk, and you draft a hallway. Already eaten the apple. Well, I'm gonna say, if I eat an apple, currently add 1 gold to your allowance. I don't know the password. Effective immediately, electronic mail can only be accessed via the security terminal. Means I can access mail here. Let's use a key. Well, that's bad. Well, weight room it is. And we lost half our steps. Okay. I've got 5 money. I need to get back to the kitchen. 2, 3. If I could buy some food. There were no green rooms in the house. Okay, I just lost all my steps. Okay. I very badly need a guest bedroom then. I should not have come in here. I can't get out. Go to the closet. And hopefully the 2 items are useful. They were not. I'm out of steps. Found 7 new rooms. Sadly, they were all red rooms, I think, so that's less than ideal. We want to avoid red rooms if we can. hallway. Alright, what's our puzzle today? This statement appears on another box. The blue box is empty. This statement appears on another box. So far, the treasure has always been in the blue box. I hope that is not a recurring theme, but... Okay. Get the 2 items. Shovel. Looks like it could be useful for digging. And a key. I don't know where it might be useful for digging. I haven't seen anywhere to dig. I'm taking the nursery. The Red Prince. There was a red prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown made of rubies and a red castle made of stone. The prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true color, the prince often said. He could not stand the sight of a canary or a crow. He could not stand the white of a swan in the snow. And he never looked up for fear of the view. He had heard that the sky was not a red hue. So he always had a book to turn his eyes down if he was ever outside when the clouds were. And do you know which book the prince always had? The one that made him happy whenever he was sad. A story he had read in the bath and the bed, and maybe you can guess with the clues that we have said. And do you know which book the prince always had? The one that made him happy whenever he was sad? Oh, I flipped back. It was the story of a boy who also wore red, and he looked like our prince from his toes to his head. And as you, my reader, might already assume, this book is quite near you, in fact in the same room. A story about you, if it needs to be said, about a prince, a red prince in his book, the red book we just read. Pantry. Well, I guess we're going outside because I just inadvertently built a loop for ourselves. We have a shovel. Let's see if there's somewhere we can dig. Already jammed up today. There's no other rooms to go to all today. Cramped bungalow. Hey. One more run and then I've got to call it for the night. If I manage to do a stupid run like we did last time, it's just gonna prove I need to go to sleep. Looping back. Let's get my 10 steps. First time I enter a bedroom with a sleep mask. Give me my 5 steps. Alright. Hallway. Fine, we'll do our parlor run. There are 4 boxes in this room, so we know that one's false. There's only 1 box in this room. We know that one is false. Gems are in the true box. Are there more boxes in this room? Is there a trick? That's not a box. Okay. We have proved it is not always the blue box. This is good. This pleases me. Alright, I need something that passes through. The veranda it is. I'll take this shovel. And Den is absolutely a good decision because it gives me 2 doors. Let's start with this one. Storeroom, okay. Let's go with the boudoir. Okay, it counted this as a bedroom, which is good. I will use a key. Okay. I would use that, but that's a dead end. So. Nook it is. Take the dining room. Doesn't do any good yet because we've only made it to rank 5, but we might make it to rank 8. You never know. What we got over here? Green rooms do not cost gems to draft. Old rusty nail. Not worth picking up. Did I lose my shovel for that? No. We're doubling back because I think there were 2 piles of dirt to dig back at the veranda. Burn them. A key. I will accept keys. Banana. Alright, what do you got for me? Spare room. Security. Car keys. I've missed car keys. Oh, they're right here. What are they for? Don't know. Courtyard. You shatter padlocks on locked trunks. Metal detector. Let's go down. Somebody get this poor hamster out of here. Ooh. Banana. Banana. Oh. Oh no. Where's lockpad? Electronic key card. Somebody bury an electronic key card. No. A broken lever. Levers have something to do with opening the antechamber. Oh no, this is locked too. Are there any rooms left that we can go to? No. Our only hope? View the inventory. And there's nothing. We did not make it to rank 8. Alright. Gotta call it a day. And we have a bot in chat. Go away. Okay, save and quit. Alright guys, I've got to call it here, and I will be back on Thursday with more Final Fantasy 13. Until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.